I'm the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So, today's story, a hill has been found infested with some orks, and a group of Imperial Guard have been sent to eradicate the infestation. Basically, we're going to put all of my orks against some Imperial Guard. Should be a fun game. This is our hill. Just a couple of small little random hill things. We're going to start these guys out at 5 feet, which is roughly here-ish. I'll show you why in a second. So here we have the entirety of my orc forces that are put together, led by a war boss in mega armor. We also have a beast boss, a death killer war trike, 10 of the cutest little grats you've ever seen. I do love the Gretchen in this game. 2 groups of 10 boys. One group has, the one on the left has a big shooter, and the one on the right has a rocket launcher. Group of 10 beast snagger boys with a thump gun. And then a group of 10 commandos with a burner, a rocket launcher, a breacher, a whole lot of knives, and just weird little angry purple guys. I mean, they're green guys, but they're in purple, so you can't really see them. We have 3 depth captives. A depth dread with twin dread claws and twin scorches. And then 3 mech guns, all bubble chuckers, because bubble chuckers are the best. Alright, these guys will be living on the hills back there. So here is the Imperial Guard force that has been sent to eliminate the orcs. We have a Cadian command squad, as well as a commissar. They'll be leading 3 10-man squads of Cadian shock troops. They all have a Vox caster, a grenade launcher, and a flamer, along with 6 guys with las guns. 2 of the sergeants are chainsword, bolt pistol, and the other one's an auto gun. We also have 2 of the Malleus rocket launcher. My brain went completely blank for a second there. 2 armored sentinels, one with a heavy flamer, one with the Militarum plasma gun. Both have hunter killer missiles and sentinel chainswords. And then, yeah, I splurged and bought another Baneblade, but I made this one into a stormlord. So it has the Vulcan mega cannon, the twin heavy bolter, 2 heavy stubbers, and the 2 twin heavy flamers in the back that come stock, and then I also gave it the 2 las cannon, twin heavy flamer sponsons to juke, and also additionally give it. And since this thing carries 40 guys, all of the infantry are in the stormlord. And since this thing is 9 inches long, we're going to start them at 5 feet instead of 4. Because normally I do it on a 4x4 board, but we're going to do it on a 4x5 board today, just because of how long this thing is. I realized that in the battle against the Desecrator and the Castellan, just how ridiculously long and huge, and just it changes range a little bit, so yeah. Make it work a little bit for it, even though the orcs will probably be fucking advancing into this guy, so yeah. I did a test game the orcs against the Baneblade, and yeah, they all attacked it. They all charged into it in a semicircle kind of fashion, which may repeat itself today. We'll see. I'm gonna roll for deployment, set things up, and we're gonna have a really good time. Alright, so the orcs won the deployment roll, so they all set up on the hill over here first. The commandos started out on the ground. Grats in front of the Wartrike, mech guns up on the hill there. Boys, the Death Dread, and then the Beast Boss and his boys. The War Boss and the Depth Captives, and then the final group of boys. So, got the Sentinels on the far end, Stormlord in the middle, and the two pieces of artillery on this far side here. So, these guys failed to steal, so these guys are going to come charging off the hill towards the metal invaders. We're going to start this off with the orcs. Movement. Okay, so everything except for the mech gun advanced. So the Wartrike got a decent distance, almost catching up to the commandos. Depth also got a decent distance up. The mech guns are probably never going to move. I just measured. They are within range to shoot. They're the only things they can shoot, so they're going to. Well, all three mech guns shot at the Stormlord. 2 dense bubbles and a big bubble later. There was a lot of hits, but no wounds. T9's a bastard to get through. Since all these guys advanced, they can't charge. So that's going to make it the guard's turn. For movement. So, like the mech guns, the field ordnance batteries are probably never going to move. The Stormlord moved forward its 10 inches. And the armored sentinels advanced. Which is going to take us to a really awesome shooting phase. There was some pretty awesome shooting that just happened here. So the heavy ordnance batteries, the Malleus rocket launchers, managed to kill off 5 of these commandos. And then the Stormlord, oh man. So the 2 heavy stubbers killed off 2 more of the commandos that were here. 2 las cannons completely destroyed the Death Dread. The twin heavy bolter did a couple points of damage to one of the depth copters over there, and then the Vulcan mega cannon killed off 3 of the boys. And then we rolled morale for these guys. 7 died. They definitely failed their morale, but only 2 of them ran away, leaving just the knob. Alright, orcs. It is your turn to do something awesome. Since the guard are a whole lot closer than they were last turn. We'll see what happens. Movement. Okay, so all of the orc infantry advanced. Mech guns just staying on the hill. The Wartrike moved up a lot closer to the Stormlord. The Depth Copters also just moved up a lot closer to the Stormlord. I definitely see some charging in the future here. Yeah, I mean, I own a Weird Boy, I guess I don't know how to use Psychers that well, so even though I have 1,000 Suns. But yeah, I didn't bring the Weird Boy for this one. Probably should have, but oh well. So shooting. The depth captives and the depth killer wartrike both shot everything they had at the stormlord and did absolutely nothing to it. But the mech guns, 2 dense bubbles and a big bubble later, the big bubble actually managed to hit it. And yeah, did a little bit of damage to it. Got it down to 23 damage. No, it has 23 health. It did 5 damage. So charging, the depth captives and the wartrike are definitely going to charge into the stormlord. We'll see how this goes. That was epically amazing. So glad this thing has 4 twin heavy flamers. So technically the depth captives and the wartrike made their charges. In doing Overwatch on the depth captives, we put all 4 twin heavy flamers into them and just completely murdered them. They died. Doing Overwatch on the wartrike, the last cannon and the Vulcan mega cannon did a little bit of damage to it. It did 2 damage with the snagger claws to the tank, which was amazing. And then the adamantine tracks got the wartrike down to 1. The twin heavy flamer destruction was amazing, and then the fact that the tracks even did some damage was just super cool. I'm so glad I made that thing. 86 auto hits. That was just awesome. That makes it the Imperial Guard turn. The Stormlord is going to remain in combat with the wartrike. We disembarked a squad of Cadian shock troops out the back here. Heavy ordnance batteries, or field ordnance batteries, I guess. Never going to move. I just like looking at them. And the Sentinels moved up their 8 and got a lot closer to these boys over here, probably to charge into them. No psychers for these guys, because I'm still trying to figure out psychers. For Imperium and whatnot. So yeah, we'll do some shooting instead. Because shooting is awesome. The Malleus rocket launchers, one of them killed off the commando knob, and the other one killed 4 of these grots. So according to the book, you can shoot a turret weapon even though it's engaged with somebody, as long as you shoot this at somebody that you're not engaged with. It's also -1 to hit. So even though this Vulcan Mega Bolter can't actually move, it still says it's a turret weapon, so managed to kill 9 of the Beast Snagger boys with it. That was super, super awesome. And the Sentinels between the 2 of them managed to kill 2 of these boys. So charging, the 2 Sentinels are going to charge into those boys. And the tank and the wartrike are going to continue their battle. The Sentinels made their charge, didn't take any damage in Overwatch, managed to kill off 2 of the boys, and took 2 damage in return from the choppers. The tank failed to kill the wartrike, and the wartrike did another 2 points of damage to the tank. This is turning into an epic struggle. Alright, so we did have some awesome experiences in morale. So 4 of the Gretchen died, leadership 4, yeah, 4 of them ended up running away. None of these guys died, not enough of anybody else except for the Beast Snagger boys died. 9 of them died, the Knob definitely ran. Even with the Beast Boss there, I don't think that would have helped him. Diminishing orks right now, but the wartrike is definitely doing some weird, crazy shit to this shit and the stormlord. Alright, well, with that being said, it is the orcs' turn, so movement. So the wartrike and the boys over there are going to stay in combat. Everybody else just moved up. Alright, the Grots advanced, but they didn't get very far. But these guys all just moved up, looking for a charge probably. So first we're going to do some orc shooting. So the only orc that's not in combat and is in range to actually shoot something is the war boss. And he shot at the Cadian shock troops and actually managed to kill 2 of them. That was surprising. Okay. Orc charging. The war boss, the beast boss, and the boys over there are all going to charge into the stormlord. And we'll continue regular combat with the wartrike and the boys sentinels. Alright, so everybody made their charges. It's unfortunate, but the beast boss and the wartrike did manage to do some damage to the stormlord. The stormlord finally managed to kill off that wartrike. I feel like it's been a struggle this entire last 2 turns trying to kill that thing, but finally killed it. The sentinels killed a couple more boys and took a couple more points of damage from the choppers. I feel like the sentinels are going to struggle for a while too. Not enough people died en masse in their groups to warrant a morale check, so we'll take it on over to the guard for movement. Okay, so the squad that had disembarked the last turn just moved over here. This squad disembarked out the back of the stormlord, which then fell back over here. Hopefully that'll help it out. Alright. Some happy guardsmen shooting. So one of the Malleus rocket launchers killed off the last 2 Grots. So both squads of Cadian shock troops dumped everything they had. Flamers, grenade launchers, the las guns, the auto pistols, everything. And they managed to kill all but the knob of the boys here. So 5 boys died. That was super awesome. Charge phase. So nobody's charging. We'll just deal with the sentinels in their combat with the boys over there. So the sentinels managed to kill another 2 boys, and then unfortunately the boys in the knob killed off one of the sentinels. This has been a hard fought melee here. Okay, well, that'll take us to the orc turn. For movement, which I'm looking around and I'm thinking there's probably not going to be any movement. We'll just go straight to shooting. Alright, so all of the mech guns shot wobbly bubbles at the stormlord. Only managed to get 1 wound, and it did manage to save it. All 3 of these guys dumped everything they had into that top grouping of Cadian shock troops, killing 4 of them. Yeah, that was weird. So charge phase. The war boss is going to charge into the diminished squad of Cadian shock troops, and then the knob and the beast boss are going to once again charge into the stormlord. And then regular combat with the boys and the sentinel over there. Alright. The war boss in mega armor most definitely made his charge and definitely murdered all 4 of the guardsmen. Regular combat, The orks did a decent amount of damage to the sentinel, and then the sentinel killed one of them. Over here, it was kind of repeated the Death Copter's experience. Killed the beast boss with the twin heavy flamers, and then actually managed to kill the other one, the knob, with the heavy stubbers, which was super weird. I don't think I've ever hit anything in Overwatch with a heavy stubber before, but okay, we'll take it. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, that will make it the Imperial Guard turn. Movement. So this Cadian command squad is hopped out of the stormlord. The stormlord then went ahead and moved up 10 inches closer to the mech guns. And everybody else just stayed where they were. Alright. Well, we're going to do some shooting then. Okay, so the Cadian commander here with his box casting dude told these guys first rank fire, second rank fire. And between this squad and the two Malleus rocket launchers, they managed to kill off the war boss, which was super amazing. Super amazing. This guy, even though he moved, did manage to kill off one of these mech guns with his Vulcan Mega Bolter. No charges, but we're just going to continue with the Sentinel and Boys combat over there. Through a weird twist of fate, both units failed to wound. I mean, they got some decent hits, they just didn't wound, which was weird. Okay, well, that'll make it the orc turn. There's no moving for these guys. Do some shooting. The bubble chuckers produced a dense bubble and a wobbly bubble. Tried to put them into the stormlord and failed to wound. So combat, be the boys and the sentinel over here. It finally happened. So the boys got the sentinel down to 1, and it finally managed to kill them both. I feel like this thing has been struggling for like the last 10 minutes or so just to kill one of those guys, and it finally manages to kill both. Shaking my head here. The weird stuff that dice do, like, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours into the game. Alright. That'll make it. Yeah, that's gonna make it the Imperial Guard turn. I'm not gonna move anybody. We're just gonna shoot the Stormlord and everything it has into these mech guns. The Stormlord dumped everything it had into the mech guns, but it was the Vulcan Mega Bolter that finally wiped him out. So, yeah, the Imperial Guard have eradicated the orc infestation. This was a lot of fun. I feel sometimes like I buy models and I don't always think ahead as to how I can use them. I knew I needed a transport for the guard. I just wasn't entirely sure how I could use it, but this game was definitely a good use of it, I think. I probably should get another one of these since I have so many shock troops and infantry and whatnot. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a couple of months from now. These things are hella expensive on my my wallet. If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate you watching. Especially as I'm starting to delve a little bit more into the Imperial Guard. I know the channel is called The Lonely Necron, but and I realize there probably haven't been as many Necron videos recently, but I'm trying to get the guard up to 5,000 points, so Probably playing some more games to try and get a better feel for using them, I guess. But yeah, the stormlord, that thing's amazing. There's still troops inside of it too. Yeah, I do appreciate y'all watching a lot. Even if there's only like 10 or 12, shit, even one view is enough for me, really. I mean, I'll take more, but I appreciate even the one. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.